We're back. It's Saturday night, 7:57 p.m. Pacific Standard, the daylight savings time on the 14th of March, 2026. You're looking at Procyon, a nice star-rich, relatively star-rich field, given the fact that we're operating at 0.5 exposure time, which is roughly equivalent to a 10.5-inch scope at the eyepiece. This is a 30x view. Procyon is a very bright star, except it shares the sky with a number of even brighter stars like Betelgeuse and Rigel, and of course the majestic Sirius, which it's the Dogi people out of Africa. Don't exactly quote me on this, but they believe that there was an intelligence associated with Sirius, that they traveled to Earth thousands of years ago and gave teachings to their ancestors, which became part of their religion. Anyway, I need to move on to the NGC 2500 to 2550 to 2599 series this evening. There's over 40 studies that I have to capture between minus 30 and plus 45 degrees. I will skip to those that are further north to begin with to make sure that we get good views of each and every, if at all possible. Let's head out. Okay, we're getting a pretty good tilt on the mount looking eastward within about, I'd say, maybe 10 to 15 degrees of culmination. And I think I'm going to be able to go straight through these. This first study we're going to look at is NGC 2553. Now, the sky has got high, thin clouds. An atmospheric river is blowing slightly north of here. And I believe it was slightly north, and that's why we got this sky hole we have right now. I'm going to push it this evening as far as I can, as long as things are still visible to the northerly direction, and the clouds don't prevail. NGC 2553 is a galaxy in Cancer. I believe this is our first Cancerian. Oh no, I think there were other studies in Cancer earlier on in the 2500 series. This galaxy is magnitude 13.8, 0.9 by 0.7, so it's a fairly bright galaxy. It was visible even at 30x. Simply listed as a spiral, 214 million light years distant, means it's about 65,000 light years in diameter. RA is 81734 with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 54 minutes, and 10 seconds, pushing it up to our 105x view. And given the fact this is a spiral, it's entirely possible it has extensions. It seems to have a fairly bright core. Let's go to 150x and look for any extensions. And I do believe at least we're seeing some auric influences to the north and to the east. Indexing up, we're going to have a look at NGC 2554. It's a galaxy with an aura around it. Maybe it's even annular. It's in Cancer. It's magnitude 12 and fairly large for a 12, 3.2 by 2.4 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase a, so a fairly pronounced core, 190 million light years distant, puts this one at probably 175,000 light years in diameter, so it's bigger than Messier 31, and Messier 31 is actually fairly large among the galaxies that are normally found in the NGC catalog. We're at right ascension, 8 hours, 17 minutes, 53 seconds with a declination of plus 23 degrees, 28 minutes, 17 seconds. Here's our 105x view, and you can make out the frontier to some degree. Looks like there might be a little spiralicity. Let's see if we can resolve it at 150x. And there's our view, and the stars are looking pretty good. NGC 2555 is also quite visible at 30x, so it's a fairly bright galaxy. In Hydra, this serpent, water serpent, the information about is magnitude 12.2, 1.9 by 1.4 arc minutes. There's our beauty shot with the stars. They all look punctilious to me. Spiral with a bar, lowercase ab. Here is our balance shot. It gives decent stars plus a better view of the galaxy. Spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, 196 million light years distant, puts this at about 110,000 light years in diameter. We are seeing the extensions on this galaxy. Let's push it up even higher to 150x. It is a spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, 196 million light years distant, like I said, about 110,000 light years in diameter. RA is 8, 1756, with a declination of almost spot on the celestial equator of north 44 minutes and 42 seconds. NGC 2556, I'm not seeing it at 30x, is a galaxy in Cancer. Its magnitude 14.4. 0.4 by 0.2 arc minutes. Wow, that is tiny. But it's 210 million light years distant, but that puts it at somewhere around maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. RA is 8 minutes, 19 minutes and 0 seconds with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 56 minutes and 12 seconds. We are definitely shifting north in terms of the NGC catalog at this point. There's our galaxy, centering it up and bailing. NGC 2557, I think, is a galaxy that's visible barely in the field. It's in Cancer, magnitude 13.2, 1.2 by 1.1 arc minute. 13.5 magnitude galaxies tend to be around 1.5 by 1.5, or 1 by 1, arc minutes in size. Spiral with a bar of the lenticular class. It is 220 million light years distant, so maybe 70,000 light years in diameter. Boy, we're getting a lot of satellite passages. Here is our 105x view and our 150. We're at right ascension at 8 hours, 19 minutes, 10 seconds with a declination of plus 21 degrees, 26 minutes, and 7 seconds. NGC 2558. It's a galaxy in Cancer, the Crab, magnitude 12.9, 1.8 by 1.3 arc minutes. Most 12.5 magnitude galaxies are typically 1.5 on some dimension or another. Although if they're edge-on, they're typically brighter in average surface brightness. This one is 228 million light year spiral with a lowercase ab. That puts this one at about 130,000 light years in diameter with a fairly bright core. Right ascension, 8 hours, 19 minutes, 12 seconds with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 30 minutes, and 38 seconds. Our 105x view, and we've also been crossed by another satellite, the bane of living in the satellite communication and otherwise era. However, they do have their utility. Okay, so that's our view of NGC 2558. Okay, here's our chance to reveal how nice the sky is. That's why I showed you the screen before, because I didn't know what was going to pop up. It's a very nice sky. NGC 2559 is a galaxy in Puppis. I believe that's the pup. It's magnitude 10.9. Look for it on the field. I believe it's right there. We can almost see structure. 3.7 by 1.7 arc minutes. Most 11 magnitude galaxies are somewhere around 3.5 arc minutes on one of the dimensions. And if we go up to 75x, we're already starting to see structure. Pretty impressive given the rest of the data here. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 68 million light years distant, puts it at about 75,000 light years in diameter. RA is 81706, but the impressive fact is it is minus 27 degrees, 27 minutes, and 26 seconds. There's our 105x best balanced view. And here we go with fullest magnification possible, NGC 2559. NGC 2560 is a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 13.3. I think I'm seeing it. Kind of looks a little bit edge-on. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. All right. It is, in fact, an edge-on galaxy. Magnitude 13.3, 1.4 by 0.3 arc minutes, greater than a 4:1 aspect ratio. Right ascension is 8 hours, 19 minutes, and 51 seconds. Let's push it all the way up to 150x before we go back down to the balanced shot. It's a spiral with a lowercase a, 223 million light years distant, maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. Right ascension is 8 hours, 19 minutes, 51 seconds with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 59 minutes, and 5 seconds. Backing off again. to the best view at 105x. There's our shot and several other galaxies in the field, some of which should pop up in the catalog as we proceed through the evening. NGC 2561, I think it might be there in the middle of the field. It's a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 13.1, 1.1 by 0.6 arc minutes. Let's go back to that 75x view. Yes, indeed. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c. That core looks pretty bright for a lowercase c. 183 million light years distant. RA is 8 hours, 19 minutes, 36 seconds, with a declination of 4 degrees, 39 minutes, 24 degrees north. The size is probably somewhere around 60,000 light years in diameter. Let's have that 105x view and head on out. NGC 2562 is 0.2 magnitudes brighter than 2561 at a different part of the sky. It's a galaxy in Cancer the Crab, magnitude 12.9. It was obvious even at 30x. 1 by 0.7 arc minute spiral of the lowercase a, 227 million light years distant. Now, it has a neighbor, but things have been centering up pretty good, but you may need to distinguish it by more information. Remember, 1 by 0.7 arc minutes. Yeah, that applies to either of them. 227 million light years distant means about 70,000 light years in diameter. RA is 8 hours, 20 minutes, 23 seconds with a declination of plus 21 degrees, 7 minutes, and 53 seconds. Let's have that 105x view before we head on out. Okay, I do believe NGC 2563 is the neighbor of NGC 2562, and yes, it ended up in the middle of the field. Mount, you are doing an excellent job of go-to accuracy. This and the last evening we were out. NGC 2563 is a galaxy in Cancer. It's brighter, magnitude 12.2, about the right size, 2 by 1.7 arc minutes. Lenticular spiral, 207 million light years distant, puts this about 125,000 light years in diameter. It's at RA 82035 with a declination of plus 21 degrees, 4 minutes, and 4 seconds. Here's a 150x view of both galaxies. I figured we'd end up doing that, but this one seems a little more extended, doesn't it? NGC 2564 is in the right part of the screen to avoid this diffraction bar from the power line. It's a galaxy in Puppis, magnitude 13.5. Look how fine the stars look down in Puppis. 1.2 by 0.8 arc minute lenticular spiral. Ooh, I'm going to have to search it out, actually. Right ascension is 8 hours, 18 minutes, 29 seconds with a declination of minus 21 degrees, 48 minutes, 59 seconds. And it's odd that we can't quite make this galaxy out, because it certainly seems to be fainter than we would expect. This may require some investigation on Steve Gottlieb's site, probably referencing these two bright stars. So you want to go to adventuresindeepspace.com, check out his description of the field of view, track down a few studies, but you know what? This galaxy can't possibly be 13.5. Even at minus 22 degrees, it should be quite apparent on the screen. Maybe this is our best candidate right here. NGC 2564. NGC 2565 is a galaxy in Cancer. See if you can pick it out. Yes, it's tiny, brilliant. Magnitude 12.6, 1.9 by 0.9 arc minute spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. 162 million light years distant, and it seems to be involved with a star. RA, I'll give it the size first. 2 times 162 is 320 something. 350 is about 110,000 light years. So yeah, about 110,000 light years. Anyway, let's push forward. Go up to our 150x view first. I'm not sure if I gave you all the data, but I believe right ascension 8 hours, 19 minutes, 48 seconds with a declination of plus 22 degrees, 1 minute, 50 seconds. We certainly seem to be getting quite a few galaxies up around in the Cancer and around the 20 to 25 degrees north declination. There's our view. NGC 2565. Wow, NGC 2566, star-filled region. Look for it at 30x. It's a magnitude 11, so it should be present somewhere quite visible on the screen. It's a galaxy, however, in Puppis. 3.4 by 2.3 arc minutes, 70 million light years distant, puts it at about 70,000 light years in diameter. This is a bright galaxy here, and we have something that's a little fainter here. Okay, pick and choose. It's a spiral with a bar and a lowercase ab, but remember that size. It's 3.4 by 2.3 arc minutes. This is more along the lines of that size. And of course, you could go and check out adventuresindeepspace.com. This is a little further west. This one should have a higher NGC number and probably be our next study. Okay, so what about it? 70 million light years distant, maybe, like I think I mentioned it's being about 70,000 light years in diameter. RA is 8 hours, 18 minutes, 45 seconds with a declination of minus 25 degrees, 29 minutes, 57 seconds. A good look for that far south. Okay, we're a little out of zone tonight because we've gone pretty far south to see this open cluster right here. In Puppis, magnitude 7.4, 10 arc minutes, 40 stars. The brightest are magnitude 10.1. It's a class 3, relatively indistinguishable from the field and not very condensed. Class 2, stars are moderate disparity in that brightness. 5,500 light years distant. RA is 8 hours, 18 minutes, 32 seconds with a declination of minus 30 degrees, 38 minutes, 24 seconds. Little out of range, but a very nice view. NGC 2569, you might be able to pick this one out. I haven't looked at the magnitude yet. Kind of faintish and small. It's a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 14.3, but it's pretty high up in the field. And I do believe that's the one we were seeing. Magnitude 14.3, 0.6 by 0.5 arc minute. Yeah, that's what made it difficult to distinguish from a star. Lenticular spiral, 231 million light years distant, maybe 30,000 light years in diameter. We're at right ascension, 8 hours, 21 minutes, and 21 seconds, with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 52 minutes, and 2 seconds. Mines will push it all the way up and then start backing out to our 105x best balance view. Okay, NGC 2570 is the neighbor of 2569. I do believe we saw both of them. Galaxy Cancer, magnitude 14.5. It's always interesting to see what limiting magnitude you get at 30x, but we get so many stacks. Magnitude 14.5, 1.1 by 0.6 arc minutes, fairly large for a 14.5 magnitude galaxy, but it could be photographic. Spiral with a lowercase ab, 296 million light years distant, so roughly 80,000 light years in diameter. RA is 821.22 with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 54 minutes, 38 seconds. Let's go on up to 100% view and view both NGC 2569 to the south and left and 2570 to the north and right. Okay, NGC density is so high tonight, I really have to speed things up. This is NGC 2571 open cluster in Puppis, magnitude 7, 13 arc minutes in size, 30 stars, the brightest of magnitude 8.8, so not a lot of them. Very uncondensed, class 4, Latin 1, but the stars are all similar magnitude, 4,400 light years distant, RA 818.56, with a declination of minus 29 degrees for 45 minutes. If I could get the cursor to work properly, I could move a lot quicker. NGC 2572 is a galaxy in Cancer with no hanging out here. Magnitude 13.8, 1.3 by 0.5 arc minute, spiral with lowercase a, 365 million light years distant, about 120K. RA is 821.24 with a declination of plus 19. 0850, no more 150x views unless something comes up that's worthy of it. NGC 2574 is a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 14. 2.3 by 1.2 arc minute, a large E spiral, lowercase ab, 127 million light years distant. You go figure. Right ascension is 8 hours, 20 minutes, and 48 seconds with a declination of minus 8 degrees, 55 minutes, and 7 seconds. Okay, going straight to 105x view for NGC 2575 Galaxy Cancer, magnitude 12.7, 2.3 by 1.9 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase c, 176 million light years distant, RA 82244 with a declination of plus 24 degrees, 17 minutes, 48 seconds. NGC 2576, a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 14.3, 1.7 by 0.3 arc minute. I might go up on this one. Spiral with a lowercase b, 383 million light years distant, larger than Messier 31, RA 82257, with a declination of plus 25 degrees, 44 minutes, and 19 seconds. And we are going to have that 150x view. Okay, once again, straight away to 105x for NGC 2577, Galaxy in Cancer, right? Magnitude 12.4, 1.8 by 1.1 arc minute, lenticular spiral, 98 million light years distant, RA 82243 with a declination of plus 22, 33, and 10. NGC 2578, Galaxy Puppis, magnitude 12.6, 2.2 by 1.3 arc minute, spiral with bar, lenticular A. 203 million light years distant, so a largie. RA 82124 with a declination of minus 13, 1905. NGC 2581 is a galaxy in Cancer. Magnitude 13.3, 1.1 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with a bar and a ring. 268 million light years distant. RA is 82430 with a declination of plus 18 degrees, 35 minutes, 48 seconds. NGC 2582, a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 13, 1.2 by 1.2. Face on, baby. Spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, 200 million light years distant. I'm seeing Frontier. RA is 82512 with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 20 minutes, and 4 seconds. Probably worthy of 150x view before we bail. NGC 2583 is a group of galaxies. Galaxies in Hydra, magnitude 13, 4.8 by 0.8 arc minute. It's an elliptical class 1, 264 million light years distant. RA is 82307, declination of minus 5 degrees and 9 seconds. And yes, most ellipticals are generally smaller than most spirals. NGC 2584 is also a galaxy in Hydra. It's one of the neighbors to 83. It's magnitude 14.5, 1.2 by 0.6 arc minutes. Yeah, I think we can see it there. Spiral with lowercase bc. 307 million light years distant. RA 82315 with a declination of minus 45813. Maybe we'll get another one in this same group. Okay, in this same galaxy group, I do believe, is NGC 2585. The data hasn't come up yet, but I do believe our original galaxy was down here and maybe here, shifted off, and now we're heading up to the north and the east. 2585 is a galaxy in Hydra, magnitude 14.5, 1.8 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase b, 314 million light years distant. You should notice those distances. I don't remember the previous ones, but that gives you an idea whether it's part of an actually gravitationally bound group. RA is 82326 with a declination of minus 454. NGC 2586 was a little bit distant from that last galaxy group in Hydra. Magnitude 15.2, 0.6 by 0.3 arc minutes, 302 million light years distant. RA is 82432 with a declination of minus 4 degrees, 53 minutes, and 17 seconds. Okay, we're only going 75x on this one because it's NGC 2587 is an open cluster in Puppis, magnitude 9.2, 9 arc minutes in size. I think it's apparent there. 40 stars. Class 2-1. All the stars are roughly the same magnitude. 8,800 light years distant. No reference to the brightest star. RA 82325 with a declination of minus 29 degrees, 30 minutes, and 30 seconds. Come on, cursor. We have a sweetie edge on here. NGC 2590 is a galaxy in Hydra. Magnitude 13.1, 2.2 by 0.7, so about a 3 to 1, 4 to 1 aspect ratio, maybe 3 to 1. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, 223 million light years distant, fairly large, but not quite as large, maybe as large as Messier 31. RA is 825.01 with a declination of barely 35 minutes and 30 seconds south declination. And it is worthy of that 150x view. NGC 2592 is a galaxy further north in Cancer, magnitude 12.3, 1.7 by 1.4 arc minutes. Has a bit of an aura around it, but it doesn't have spiral arms because it's an elliptical, 87 million light years distant, so it's smally, like most ellipticals. RA is 827.08, declination plus 25 degrees, 58 minutes and 12 seconds. NGC 2593 is a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 13.9, 0.9 by 0.5 arc minute. It seems to have a shadow often to the north and the east. Spiral lowercase a, 286 million light years distant, RA 826.47 with a declination of plus 17 degrees, 22 minutes, 27 seconds. And hope maybe we'll get a chance to identify this spiral galaxy off into the south and the east. NGC 2594, let's check it out, is a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 15. That looks pretty bright for a 15, but could be photographic. 0.8 by 0.5 arc minute, lenticular spiral, 110 million light years distant. RA 827.17, declination plus 25, 52.42. Go check out Steve Gottlieb's site. There's a really bright galaxy right here, but that's definitely not a magnitude, even a magnitude 14. NGC 2595. Let's see if it conforms. Galaxy in Cancer. Doesn't look bright enough though. Magnitude 12.3. Very large. 3.1 by 2.7 arc minutes. Aha. It's a spiral with a bar, lowercase c. So that core is very small. 197 million light years distant. This one's pretty big, much larger than the Andromeda Galaxy. RA 827.42 with a declination of plus 21 degrees, 28 minutes and 44 seconds. It behooves us to have that 150x view. Come on, cursor. There you go. It's cold out. My hands are naked and having all kinds of fun. One of my favorites, NGC 2596, is a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 13.5, largest 1.5 by 0.6 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, 267 million light years distant, so probably as large or larger than the Milky Way. RA is 827.26 with a declination of plus 17 degrees, 17 minutes and 2 seconds. I think we've got an opportunity here to have that 150x view. NGC 2597 is also 98. It's a galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 15.1, 1.1 by 0.4. Yeah. Spiral, no other characterization. 204 million light years distant. So it's about 2/3, probably 65,000 light years in diameter. RA is 830.03 with a declination of plus 21 degrees, 29 minutes and 18 seconds. Let's push it up and head on out. Okay, we're going to start from 30x on this last view. NGC 2599, galaxy in Cancer, magnitude 12.2. Pretty obvious, 1.9 by 1.7 arc minute, spiral with lowercase a, 214 million light years distant, so about 120,000 light years in diameter. Okay, we're now pushing it up to right. It's at right ascension, 8 hours, 32 minutes, 11 seconds, with a declination of plus 22 degrees, 33 minutes, and 37 seconds, our 75x view. So now we're going to start with this, and I'm going to show you, because we're now almost at 29 minutes, I have a little bit of time. Our final view is going to be playing with contrast. Right now the contrast value is 1.0. I'm going to push it up to 2.0. Now notice the background sky is darkened up. This is a contrast setting. I am not going to play with this generally throughout the initial survey of the NGC series. When I determine which galaxies are going to be part of something a bit deeper, I will go to this approach in order to get the best possible images. This is a contrast setting of 4.0, but we have lost some of the extensions of the galaxy. Let's go back. We're seeing a little bit better, and let's go back to 3.0. It's a slider, so I have to manipulate it with my cold hands. There's not a bad view there. We're still seeing speckling, even though noise reduction is on. I'm going to go back to 2.0. And now we're seeing all kinds of brightness. I think somewhere around 2.5 is our best view. I'm going to do the zoomy, 105x, not bad, all the way up to our full pixelization and finest resolution and the maximum amount of light gathering of 150x, 100% e-zoom. 30 minutes and 30 seconds in, I'm going to say carpe.